This was in August of 2003. It's important to remember that this took place during the week of the full moon in August of 2003. At the time, I did not know that this was pertinent. But this was in the week of the 20th, 21st, 2003. My entire family was there. Mary and I, our girls, Molly, Emily, and Zoe, and our son, Zach. Since this was 2003, maybe 2002, the kids were quite young. So the oldest, Molly, was in her mid-teens. I'm uncertain of the date. I didn't write this down, which many people told me I should have done. But it was August 2003. It was our family reunion. And we went to a place called North Bend Park. North Bend State Park is a park in West Virginia. Gorgeous geography, right in the middle of the woods. There's a lodge, there's a camping area, and a series of cabins, 6 or 8 cabins. And we stayed in one of the large cabins. These are not rustic cabins. These are nice cabins with a TV set. We had 3 bedrooms, it was, kitchen. It was not camping out by any means. In any event, we had a whole week there. And so much of the stuff that happened that week I didn't recognize until in retrospect. Because I have no real interest in ghosts or haunting, or I didn't at that time. And I didn't know anything about the signs. There's a lot of physical stuff that happened, though the event that is at the heart of this is psychic, is a shared dream among all of us. But I didn't know any of the other signs to look for. For example, my cousin Peter brought his dog. Now, I don't remember the behavior of the dog. I've learned subsequently that dogs, like children, are sensitive to these presences and these events. In any case, we came to the cabin. We were all excited. We go into the place, and my daughter Zoe, who at that time is probably 4 or 5, maybe 6, starts running through the cabin, jumping from bed to bed, because the kids in those days loved hotels, motels. It was a very exciting thing to be staying in this cabin. And Zoe was running from room to room saying, "This place is haunted. I'm not kidding. This place is haunted. I'm not kidding." And of course, I, being the naif, took it as a cute little joke. But that's the first thing she said running through. The second thing, and again, I didn't think much of this at the time, was that the kitchen lights would not go on. They had a nice kitchen. They had some low lights over the counters. They had lights in the kitchen itself. I had lights over the dining area off the kitchen, and all these switches failed. So I called housekeeping, and they came and replaced all the bulbs, and everything worked fine. We entered the main room, and there was this odd stain on the wall. Again, it's kind of a luxury cabin, so there was a nice, wonderful fireplace. But it was an odd stain coming from where the wall meets the ceiling, and it was obvious to me that it was water damage, that maybe they had leaked. But when I looked at it, honestly, it flashed through my mind that this was blood. And I didn't say anything about this to the kids. It was a weird thought, and I dismissed this. This was not, there was no reason for this thought or any reason to expound on it. But that's the kind of thing that, in retrospect, starts to make sense. So, Zoe's running around saying the place is haunted. The lights don't work. We go back into the bedroom. The bedroom lights don't work. A real curiosity, I turned on the light in the master bedroom, which is the focus of all of the events that unfolded. I turned on the light to the master bedroom, and nothing came on. And then, maybe 30 seconds later, a series of lights on the wall came on. And I've done wiring, and I know loose connections, this, that, and I didn't think anything of this. I went into the bathroom for the first time, and in the master bathroom, the light went on, but when I entered the bathroom, the light went off. And, keep in mind, I'm dad on the vacation, so this was not freaking me out. This is like, geez, there's a problem with the lights here. But the light in the bathroom went off and then back on. I left that bathroom, and as we were unpacking the truck, I noticed in the bathroom off the main hall, the door had been propped open with a rock. And I've worked at hanging doors myself. I know how this goes. If you hang a door that's out of plumb, or if the structure shifts, that door can swing slowly open or slowly closed on its own. It's not mysterious, and I thought that's probably what happened. People who were here before, the door kept closing, and so they put the rock to keep it open. And I thought nothing of that. You see what this is leading up to. And so we continued our vacation. We're in this cabin. Everything's fine. We have no big issues. In the evening, the adults stay out in the main room and talk. And Zach, who was sharing a room, at that time he must have been 5. He was sharing a room with his sister Molly. Zach, I noticed, out of the corner of my eye, was sitting in the hallway. 9 o'clock at night. This is past his bedtime. And he wasn't saying anything. And I leaned over. I actually had to walk over and ask him, Zach, everything okay? You want to go to bed? And he said no. And I said, Molly's back there. You don't have to be afraid. Kids. So here I am, the dunderhead. I'm just thinking, so I said, well, you can sit here if you'd like. And, so he did. And he did that every single night. And I never knew why until the last night. To cut to the chase here, I'll end up leaving a lot out because there was so much that happened. It all came clear. The last day we were there, we had our last gathering at the lodge. There was this magnificent thunderstorm. Very, very beautiful in the way these things can be. And there was a large tree outside the lodge that was struck by lightning directly. And I'd never seen this before. The tree exploded before our eyes. I mean, there were probably 40, 50 of us there. So everybody saw this. And it was a great event. But the tree exploded before our eyes. And that was a wonderful event. I mean, a cool natural event. We all ran down to the tree. And we saw where the tree had been struck, and down at the base, the base of the tree where it met the ground, it really had exploded, literally. And I picked up a piece to take home. But that was cool by me, In any event, this is where it starts. We all went back to the cabin that night. Same story. The adults talking into the evening. Zach sitting in the hallway, and we go to bed. What happened in a dream state. The physical events that corroborate this event, I did not notice until after the fact. I didn't know what to look for, or I would have approached this differently.